I worked the night shift at a self-storage facility outside Portland. Most nights were quiet until one stormy night in November. At exactly 2:13 a.m., my phone buzzed. Motion detected, Unit C18. I checked the camera. Nothing, just rain. 30 seconds later, another alert appeared. Same unit. This time I zoomed in. The padlock on C18 was slowly swinging. No one was there. I radioed my coworker. "Mike, can you check C18? A minute later, I watched him walk toward the unit. He stopped, aiming his flashlight at the door. "Mike?" No answer. Finally, the radio crackled. "You seeing this?" "I only see you." Silence. Then he whispered, "No, I don't think you do." The transmission cut out. I switched cameras. When I returned to camera 12, Mike was gone. No footsteps, no flashlight, nothing. Then the office phone rang. A calm voice said, "You're watching the wrong cameras." The line went dead. I suddenly remembered the old surveillance system stored beneath my desk. Curious, I turned it on. 8 black and white camera feeds appeared. One showed the hallway outside my office. A tall man in a dark raincoat stood at my door. His face was hidden beneath a hood. I looked toward the real door. No one. Back on the screen, it was still there. Then I noticed the timestamp. November 12th, 2009. The footage was 17 years old. Slowly, the hooded man raised one hand and pointed directly at me. At that exact moment, every light went out. Every monitor turned black. That's when I realized the cameras weren't showing the past. They were showing whoever was going to disappear next. I grabbed my flashlight and ran to Unit C18. Mike's flashlight was lying on the ground, still on. His radio was beside it, but Mike was gone. The storage door stood slightly open. Inside was an old television. It wasn't plugged in. Yet the screen was glowing. It showed a live image of me standing in the doorway. Then, a hooded man appeared behind me. I turned around. No one. When I faced the TV again, only 2 words remained. "You're next." The screen went black. I ran back to the office and called the police. They searched the property until sunrise. Mike was never found. The detectives checked every security recording. According to the footage, Mike had never reached Unit C18. He simply disappeared between 2 camera frames. The old DVR was gone too. My manager swore it had been thrown away years ago. No one believed my story. I quit the next day. Months later, at exactly 2:13 a.m., my home security camera sent a motion alert. I opened the live feed. A hooded man stood on my porch. He slowly raised one hand and pointed, not at the camera, at the window behind me. I turned around. The room was empty. When I looked back at my phone, the live feed had ended. A new notification appeared. Motion detected.